Wednesday, we're gonna pandiculate. Yay! I'll tell you what that is. In yoga class and as humans, when we think of stretching, we're like, let's stretch my hamstring. I'll lengthen the hamstring and hold in that long position, and nothing wrong with that. We do that all the time. But in pandiculation, it's if you know how when an animal takes a big yawn and it just moves through their whole body. Yeah. So that we're gonna kind of do stretches like that today instead of the normal way.
So it's more like a flow.
There'll be flow elements to it, but periodically I'm just going to call it the big cat yawn because, that's easier to say than, it's fun to say pandiculation, but just so you know, there is a word for that. And we'll be moving our spines in different ways, and then I'll say, let's find that big cat yawn in whatever position you're in. And it's an organic sort of movement. It's not like you're trying to go a certain direction, put your body in a certain position. It's kind of the stretch starts to move through you. Does that make sense? Okay.
Like when you wake up first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
you do that.
Yeah.
It just stretches from wherever.
Exactly. Like babies are really good at it. Animals are really good at it. Grown-ups, we have to practice a little, but we can be good at it too. So I'll invite you to sit with me in this position or this position with the right leg bent up and the left leg bent down, possibly on a block. But if you don't like that shape, if that doesn't suit you, then sit cross-legged or any other way really is fine. Yeah, so I'll mirror you. So it would be the right leg up and the left leg down, either in kind of a Sukhasana leg or a Virasana leg, whichever. Okay, so at first, let's just move the spine in kind of a cat-cow like way, and I'm taking my arms forward and back. You could do that too, where you could have the hands on the legs, or if you can reach the floor, you can touch the floor. Yeah, so just move a little bit like this. And then the next time the arms pull forward and the spine rounds, see if you can kind of come into that cat yawn. Oh, and you might move your body in a slightly different way than me, and that's fine. And then let's do the same when we take the arms back and kind of lift the chest. Yeah. Do that one more time each direction. And every time you do it, it might be a little bit different. Good. And then we'll come back to center. And now let's do some side bends. So go one side and the other side. And continue going side to side, but feel free to have the arms, they can be upon your body or floating. Great. And then let's say the next time we go to the right, we'll find that cat yawn. I can't do it without making a little bit of noise. So if you can do a little bit too, that's fine. Yeah, let's do one more of those on each side. Yes. And then as we come back to center, let's change our movement to a rotation. So a twist one side and other side. And here too, you can experiment with what the arms want to do. They could be up or down or resting on the legs. Yeah. And then the next time we go to the right, let's find a big yawn. And then to the left. And one more of those on each side. Great. And then we'll come back to center, and we'll just kind of be somewhat still for a moment. So root down through your seat. Lengthen up through the spine, through the crown of the head. And if you'd like to close your eyes, you can close the eyes. If you'd rather keep them open, that's fine too. And just see if you can find the center of your body. Yeah. And as you take the next few breaths, see if you can just sense a little bit of movement coming from your center. And notice here naturally how the spine, there's just a subtle little wave, a little movement going on. Just notice what that is for you today. And then from here, we'll let the head bow down, let the chin drop and the eyes blink open. We'll take the head to center. And then we'll change the way we're sitting. So we'll have the other leg on the bottom, other leg on the top. And if you were cross-legged, you can just change the leg cross. Yeah. So let's again go through those movements. The forward and back with the arms and spine kind of moving in opposition. Yes. And then the next time the arms come forward, let's take the big cat yawn. And do the same as the arms pull back. Great, and one more each direction. It feels good to move this way, yeah. And then let's take our side to side.
You'll never do that.
I know, whenever I teach a class like this, I walk out of the door and I'm just still doing it. Yeah. All right, guys, let's say next time we go left, we'll add in a big yawn. And to the right. And see what's different from just stretching the normal way. Maybe should be the normal way. And next time you come back to center, we'll do our rotation. So one side, other side. You can do whatever you want with the arms. Yes. And then the next time we go to the left, let's find our big yawn. And same thing to the right. And one more of those on each side. Great. And then as we come back to center, let's just let the spine kind of move any and all directions. So you might do a combination of a twist and a side bend. And you can add in those little yawns anywhere that you like. You can take like a little, might feel good to kind of reach forward or reach back. Yeah. All right, yogis. And then let's come back to center. Just one last little piece here. Find your roots lengthen long through the crown of the head. Just pause. A very regal seat. Yeah. All right. Now we'll come into just something symmetrical for a second. So let's stretch the legs out in front and create any kind of jiggle wiggle, circles through the ankles, just whatever you need to do to come out of that. Yeah. All right. And then we'll regroup coming into all fours, and we'll explore some of these spinal movements here. Feel free to have a blanket or something under the knees if you need that. And as we first come down into our all fours, just start with kind of a smaller spinal movement, and this could be anything. You could do side to side, you could make some circles. Yeah. Think about, again, moving from the center of your body and letting the movement travel outward from there. Yeah. At any point, you could bend and straighten the elbows, you can move the head. If you need to shift a little forward or back, take what you need. And then let's briefly shift back into child's pose. Feel free to widen the knees a little bit if you like that. Arms will stay forward, and just give the mat a gentle push down and forward, and let the back body take that kind of yawning action. And then you'll back off a little bit and do it again. So push the mat down and forward, the spine will round, the head will drop. Yeah. It's a little similar to cat-cow, but not exactly the same. Okay. And then the next time we come out of that, let's return to our all fours position, hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And now let the rib cage glide from one side to the other side, creating a little side bend. And likely it'll feel just kind of natural to turn your head to look over one shoulder and the other. Let's continue to move through these side bends, but see if you can add in that little yawn. So from one side, it starts to move into something else. Yeah. Great. Great. And we'll pause. Back to center. And then take your right elbow. Let's breathe in. As we exhale, bend the right elbow and turn the chest and the head to the left. The elbow may or may not actually touch the floor. Inhale, we come back to center. And then exhale, it's the other side we turn. Yeah, so take that one a few times. It's a little twist through the thoracic part of the spine. And then the next time we return back to center, let's stay. Bring the hands a little further forward than you have them. And as we inhale, let's shift forward and create kind of a lift. So it's like up dog with the knees down. And then on the exhale, let's come back about halfway to child's pose. So the inhale pulls us forward, little lift at the end of the movement. And then the exhale takes us back. Yeah, so just continue that a few times on your own. And anytime you feel like it would make sense to add in that little yawn effect, go ahead and do that just on your own. Great. All right, yogis. Next time we come into the back position, let's stay. Come all the way to child's pose and take the knees as wide as you need to bring the forearms and elbows down onto the floor. That's it. Let your chest drop a little bit. And on the next inhale, try to drag the mat back. Lift the hips a little, lift the elbows a little. Collarbones are broad. On the exhale, we'll lower back down, elbows to the floor. So take that a few times. The inhale, we create this little pull and then lift. And the exhale brings us back down. All right, friends, next time we create the little pull, let's continue until we come back to our all fours position. Reset yourself, take the hands a little further forward. Let's tuck the toes under, lifting the knees. Send yourself up and back into down dog. And if you're anything like me, hamstrings are always a little tight for the first down dog. So if you want to add in any movement here, feel free to do that. If you'd rather just settle in and be somewhat still, that's fine too. So take a couple moments for whatever it is you need in your dog. Great, and then we'll pause here. Within down dog, let's take the feet kind of wide. Bend your knees, crawl the arms back to the legs, heels meet the floor. Let's press down to rise up. Inhale all the way up to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, the arms release down. Yeah, then to stand here, soften all of your joints and start to move around a little bit any way that you like. Any way that you like. Great. And then we'll do a little more formal movement here. So let the movement settle down. Bend the knees and let the backs of the wrists come towards each other. And then as we inhale, let's bend the elbows, stand up, and let the arms reach behind you. So the exhale, arms come forward, the spine rounds back. And then on the inhale, the arms pull back, we lengthen the left. So take that a few times. The whole spine gets this big undulation. Yeah. Great. And then the next time the arms come forward and the spine rounds back, see if you can come into that big cat yawn. And then do that the same as the arms come back. Yeah, let's do one more of those on each direction. And then from here, it's hard to stop. Let's just pause. Be at the back of the mat. Maybe you're already there. And then on the next inhale, let's take the arms out and up. Exhale, down we go. Forward fold. Feel free to bend the knees if you need that. Come up halfway. We'll move the chest forward. lower yourself down. Let's walk the hands forward until we arrive in plank pose, and then we'll lower the knees down briefly. We won't stay here for long. Let's take just a little side-to-side movement, so you're shifting your weight between the hands. Plank with the knees down, yeah. Great, and then in a second, we'll come into a variation of cobra like this. So let's pause, lower the rest of the way down onto your belly. I'm gonna stay here, but I'll indicate what to do. So you'll keep your hands right by the lower ribs. Lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor. Lift the torso but just a tiny bit. And then one shoulder does a little roll, other shoulder does a little roll. And then the spine gets to travel in that little wiggle from side to side. Yes, the hands are on the floor for this one. I call this what do I call this? Slither cobra. Yeah. All right, friends, and then let the movement settle. From here, let's come into a regular cobra. Inhale to broaden, lift, and exhale to lower down. Take that 2 more times. Gorgeous. And then on the last one here, let's transition into downward facing dog again. Go ahead, take your time to get there, and we'll make a little adjustment once you're in position. So bend the knees slightly here. Don't move the hands, but try to press the mat down and forward so the hips, the pelvis draw back and up. And at the very tops of the thighs, press a little wider. Counter that in your feet. Hug in through the ankles as you slowly start to stretch the legs a little straighter, sending the heels towards the floor. They may or may not get to the floor. That's it. And then for this transition, let's come to the front of the mat. So feet to the hands. Once you get there, we'll take a half lift. Lower down, bend the knees, press into your heels. Use the inhale to come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale the arms down alongside you. Great. So far, so good, everybody. So from here, let's stand either hips width distance or a little bit wider in your stance in your legs. And then we'll take a few side bends. So let's reach your left arm up, go over to the right. If you want to bend the knees, you can. And then up we come, over to the left. And then we'll go again. If you want to try something different, you can grasp the forearm as you come over. That might just feel a little different. Good. Now, next time you go over to your right, let's add in some version of that cat one. Yes, and then we come up. Same thing when we go to the left. Good. One more on each side. Nice job. And then let's come back to center. Just release the arms. Why not a little Hoopasana just because? Yeah. Great. And then go the other direction. So in the last little go through in plank, we had the knees down. We were doing that little side to side. For the next version, if you guys want to do straight leg plank, you can. I'm going to keep my knees down. Let's be at the front of the mat here. Root down to rise up. Inhale, we grow. Oops, plant. Exhale, down we come. Yes, inhale, we lengthen. And then we'll come back into plank and we'll stay. Yeah, so any version, legs straight, knees bent. If you want to just do all fours too, that's fine. Collarbones nice and broad. And then find that little wiggle from side to side. Tiny little waves in the spine. And then I'll have everybody come to child's pose for this version. So when you're ready to do that, knees come down, hips come back. You'll take your hands off of the mat onto the floor and you'll be on the fingertips. Yeah, so the hands go wide. They're about, we're kind of out from the shoulders. Elbows are bent. Yeah. Also come in a little bit with the hands and Janae come back a little bit. There we go. And then let the chest drop for a second. It's kind of a rolling cobra. You'll press into the fingertips on your way up. The head comes up last. And then we come back down. Now do that a few times. Oh, this is super creepy when the whole class is doing it right in front of you. And then on the way down, let's add in a little side to side, that little wave. So come up through the center. And then the down is a little side to side. Yeah. Now later, we'll do this again. You guys will be in cobra, some of you. It'll feel a little different when you're on the belly. Let's come up last time. And then on the way down, we'll reset. Just set the hands so that you can come into downward facing dog pose. Take your time to get there. Good. All right. And then from your down dog, let's take a round of this again. So set the knees down, and as we inhale, we'll shift forward, lift the chest at the end of the movement. And on the exhale, go back about halfway to child's pose. Now let's do that just one more time. Inhale forward, little lift at the end. Exhale back. Now if you want to do that in down dog and plank, let's lift the knees off the floor. Round the back to transition, and at the end of the movement, we lengthen the spine, take the rounding out, and then exhale, we lift up and back down dog. Let's take 2 more times. If you'd rather put the knees back down, do that version. Otherwise, keep the straight legs. Good. And then from here, the next time, we're back in downward facing dog, or if you're doing the other one, get to downward dog, stay. You can either bring the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands, standing forward fold, root down to rise up, grow tall, come the arms. And exhale, brings the arms down. Oh, yeah, just take another little wiggle. Anything goes. And then let's see, we did our forward back, we did our side to side. We need to do the twist. So let's do the twists here. Bend the knees, just let the arms kind of curl in. And then as we open, let's take a big yawn to the right. Yeah, and then we'll come back in. And then take a big yawn as you open up to the left. Great, do that one more time each side, and maybe it's a little different this time. Maybe you take the arms in a different pathway. Good. All right, and then let's come back to center. Just do one with the arms coming straight up. That's it, and then we'll release the arms. We'll be at the front of the mat, and we'll do some lunges on the next round. If you like blocks for that, you can set them up. And we'll have a knee down if you need a blanket for that. You can have that handy. Alrighty, so here we are, front of the mat. Inhale, up we grow. Exhale down. I normally face the other way. Let's come up halfway. And then on the way down, step the right leg back. Yeah, knee down on the floor. You can keep the toes tucked or straight back. That's up to you. And now from your position, let's start with that little side to side that we did in plank and some of the others. Just a little wave through the spine. Yeah. And then we'll let that start to settle. On the inhale, shift a little more forward. Lift the chest at the end of the movement. And then on the exhale, we'll shift back, going straighter in the front leg, bowing down. Take that a few times just at your own pace. See if you can let the movement be as much about the spine as it is about the legs, just for now. Yeah. All right, everybody. Next time we're in the forward position, let's stay. And then on the next inhale, we'll grow tall. Torso comes up, arms come up. If it feels good to interlace and press up, just come into a big long position here. Yes. And then from here, we'll undo the arms. Bend the elbows, push the arms forward, let the back round. And then pull the arms back, let the spine extend. Yeah, do that a few times. And if it feels good to add that sort of yawning motion, you can add that in. And the arms don't have to go exactly the same way every time, yeah? Nice. Let's take it one more time. Let's see, one more time forward. And then the next time we inhale, take the arms out and up. As we exhale, release the hands down. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Stay in this position for a second and see if you can just lengthen the spine long, one long line. Gorgeous. If you're on the blocks, we'll move them out of the way. And let's go to our plank pose. Any version is fine. We'll do our little wiggle side to side. That's it. And then when you're ready to come down onto the belly, take your time to get there, unless you'd rather do the child's pose version. Same thing as before, but now we're on the belly. Take the hands off the mat here on your spider fingers. lower yourself down. And as you come up, you might not go that high. Undulate up. Head is the last thing. And then bring yourself back down. Yeah, take that again. If you want, on the way down to add in the little side to side do. If you don't like that, don't worry about it. If coming up quite a bit is bothersome on your back, just do barely at all or not at all. You can do the whole thing down if you wanted to. Yes. Nice job, everybody. Next time you come down, we'll reset the hands. Head back into downward facing dog pose. And then a few choices once you get there. You could just be still. If you need more of a break, you could take child's pose. If you need a little more action, you could do that rounding forward to plank. And then lifting and rounding back to down dog. Yeah, so a few options here. If you want to do something I didn't suggest, that's okay too. Good. Let's meet next time we're in down dog, or if you were doing the other one, you can get to down dog. We'll bring the feet to the hands, standing forward fold. Let's bend the knees, slide the hands up the legs, and on the inhale, stretch the legs long, move the chest forward. On the exhale, bend the knees and come back down. Do that a few times. Let it be that same kind of undulation in the spine that we've been doing all class. Good. And then the next time we take the half lift. On the way down, we'll step left leg back, knee to the floor, setting up our lunge on the second side here. That's it. And then before we come up, let's take that little wiggle side to side. Yeah, if you need a blanket for the back knee, go ahead and take that. Easy work. And then we'll let this movement settle down. On the next inhale, shift forward, nice lift through the chest. On the exhale, we'll take it back, going straighter in the front leg. Take that a few more times. Let it be about the spine, which might mean you go higher in the hands. Yeah, if you're finding the spine is a little stuck, you might go higher, maybe on the fingertips. Yeah. All right, let's pause here the next time we're in the forward position. On your next inhale, we'll rise up. Take anything that helps you elongate the sides of the waist, the torso, the spine. Yes. And then let's undo the arms. Give a little push forward. Let the upper back round. And then find a little pull back as the spine extends. And take that a few more times and feel free to add in that yawning motion whenever it feels good. Maybe it's every time. Maybe it's just here and there. All right, friends, the next time the arms come forward, on the next inhale, let's take arms out and up. And then as we exhale, release, hands come down. Lift the back knee off the floor. Lengthen the spine long. That's it. And then let's take again, same choices. So go back to plank or put the knees down. Your choice, you could shift forward and back. You could stay in down dog or in child's pose. If you wanted to come through a full vinyasa, that's an option too. Yeah. Nice job, everybody. All right. So we'll meet next time you're in down dog, but don't feel like you have to get there right away. Just use that as a transition. Yes. And then from here, we'll make our way to standing forward fold. Any way you get there. Root down to rise up, lengthen and lift. And then we'll release the arms. All right, class. Let's take a little hula hoop again to celebrate being alive. Feels good to be alive.
Yes, it
Go the other
does.
direction. Okay. And then we'll let our movement quiet down. And we'll do somewhat of a balance thing. Let's take the right leg out to the side, but there's still contact, so the toe is on the floor. And then you can bend the elbows, bend the knees a little bit. And then we'll take that yawn to open up. That's it. And then we'll come back in, change sides. The other side steps a little bit, and then yawn to open up. Good. And then let's come back in. Take the right leg a little forward, and then we yawn to open up. And back in. And the left leg a little forward. Yeah. So next round here, if you want to try that with the leg off the floor, it'll look something like this. If that's a no-go, just keep the toe on the floor like before. Yeah. And take that big yawn to open up. If you lose it, it happens. Yeah, let's take the leg forward. And the other leg forward. And then why not take the leg back, yeah? So just kind of like warrior three. Yeah, maybe you bump into something and it happens. Good. And then let's do another one with just 2 feet on the floor. Just open up. Great. And then we'll release the arms. Yeah. You ever need to wiggle again? Just take a little wigglies. Great. All right, friends. So our next little sequence here, we'll do lunge with the back knee up, and then it's kind of a side angle variation, but it's not the traditional way to do it. I'm going to face this direction just so I don't have my back to you. So let's come to the front of the mat, and kind of just the way we've been going here. Inhale up, exhale down we go, forward fold. Inhale's the halfway. And then on the way down, we'll step the right leg back, lunge with the knee off the floor, blocks if you need them. And then in this position, let's do what we did before with the knee down. So just take that little slithery little side to side. Yeah. Now, a lot of times in yoga, when we twist, we use the arm to kind of pull us into the position. For this next thing, I'm going to have us move from the center of the body. So let's let our wiggles settle down. Lengthen the spine, turn the back heel down to the floor, and let the right arm just kind of come alongside you a little bit. And then let the chest turn a little towards the floor. And as you rotate to the right, do that from the center of the body to open. Yeah. And then down. Do that a few times. And now let the arm come a little bit away from the body and let it just be an extension of the rest of the movement. So be really conscious that you're not just using the arm to pull you open into the twist. Good. Next time we go to the right, let's stay. Reach the arm up towards the ceiling. And then take it forward overhead. Stay here, bend the elbow a little bit. And as you inhale, let's create that yawn effect to re-lengthen the arm and the side of the body. And then on the exhale, we kind of come in a little bit. Let's do that again. We lengthen, we yawn it open. And one more time. Good breathing, everybody. Let's come out of this. Release the arm down, turn the back heel up. Lunge to plank pose. Any version of plank pose is fine. And then let's create our little wigglies here. Little side to side. That's it. And then when you're ready, we'll come down to the belly. And then we'll take 3 cobras, any version, any style. If you want to do the wiggly one, you can do that, just kind of the equivalent of that. So take your time. And then we come back down, a couple more of those. Nice choices, everybody. I love it when everyone does something different. Quiet. When you're ready to get out, we'll meet in downward facing dog pose. Take your time to get there. That's it. And then from your dog, let's head to the front of the mat. We'll stay low once you get there. Halfway lift, just as a transition. And then on the way down, let's step the left leg back, setting up for our lunge on the second side. Stay there. And before we come into the other one, let's create our little wiggle side to side. Yeah. Little wavies. That's it. And then we'll let the movement settle down. Re-lengthen the spine. Turn the back heel to the floor. And for the moment, just let the left arm kind of come alongside the body. We'll turn the chest a bit towards the floor, and as we turn open, little twist, see if you can do that from the center of the body. And then we come back down again, yeah? That's it. And then let the arm come slightly away from the body and let it be an extension of the movement without completely taking over. Good, yeah. Nice job, you guys. Next time the chest turns to the left, let's go all the way open, lifting the arm, and then take it forward overhead. We'll bend the elbow slightly, and on the next inhale, find that big yawn effect to re-lengthen the arm. And then on the exhale, we bend slightly, come out of it a little bit, and re-lengthen. Good, let's do that one more time. Nice work. And then down comes the arm, up comes the back heel. Lunge pose, same thing. Let's go plank to the belly, or to all fours, or to child's pose. And then the equivalent of 3 cobras, or something like cobra. Yeah. If you prefer cat-cow, you can join me with that instead. And then let's have everybody come to child's pose, but if you need a down dog first, take that first and then come down. Yeah, just a moment to regroup. We'll keep the arms forward, knees can be as wide as they want to be, and walk both arms a little bit over to the right. The right hand will probably come off the mat for this. Yeah. And then from your position, gently press the right hand down and forward and let the back body kind of yawn as you take a little rotation. The chest turns a little to the right. And then we'll back off and do that 2 more times. Right hand pushes down and forward as we cat yawn through the back body. Good. Okay, and then we'll go the other direction. So the arms go a little bit over to the left. Left hand is on the floor, and then push it down and forward as the movement travels through the back body. Do that twice more. Yes. All right, everybody. And then from here, let's reset, coming back to child's pose to down dog. And then we'll meet standing forward fold from there, root down through the feet, down through the legs. Inhale, we grow, we lift, we lengthen. And exhale, the arms down. Okay. All right. So we'll balance again. This one it'll be a variation on tree pose, and because we're really on one leg for that, the movement in the spine will be quite a bit less. Yeah? So let's do kind of like we did before. We'll do an easier version and then a harder one. So we'll stand with the left leg as the base. Right leg will turn out, but let's keep either the ball of the foot or the tippy toes on the floor. And then take the arms in this position and just do a little push-pull, but let it be kind of smaller and without the big yawn. It's just like a little wave. Yeah, no big deal. Great. And then we'll pause, take the arms out and up. Let's take a side bend to the right. Up. And then side bend to the left. And up. Separate the hands, turn the chest to the right, let the arms move apart and down. And up. And then the other side, out and down. And up. And as the arms come down, step the foot down. And that was side 1. Let's go into side 2. So the left leg rotates out. And then arms are here, a little push-pull, forward and back, movement in the spine. Yeah. And we'll keep it not too big. Great. And then from here, arms come out and up. Let's side bend to the left side first. And up. And to the right. And up. And then turn the chest to the left, let the arms move apart and down. And up. And the other side. And up. And then as we come down, just reset the foot. We're back to where we started. Yeah. So if that felt like a good place for you to work, you'll do that one again. If you want to take the right leg up above or below the knee, that's an option as well. Yeah? So come into your rendition of legs. Press the standing foot down and see if you can be really steady, really solid through your base. And then we'll take the spinal movements. And those of you who do come up will likely notice, yeah, it's got to be a smaller movement, doesn't it? Great, and then we'll pause. Take the arms out and up. Let's go to the right side bend. Just little. Yes, and then up. And to the left side bend. Gorgeous, come back up. And then to the right, rotate, let the arms separate. And back up. I'm about to lose it. And then we go to the left. And back up. And then as the arms come down, step the foot down. Nice. Oh, we've got a few balance rock stars in the class. Good job. Yeah. All right. Can we do the other side? I think we better. Yeah, right leg is down, left leg comes up. Take a second to figure out your position. Yeah? It can be different on the second side, no problem. All right, once we're there, forward and back. This definitely adds an element to balance, doesn't it? Let's pause. Arms come up. Side bend left. Keep it small. Yeah? And up. To the right. And up. We twist to the left. And up. Yes, and then to the right. And up. Arms come down, foot comes down, and that's that. All right. Yeah, I think we need to wiggle, just wiggle. Nice job, you guys. Nice job. So let's sort of, I don't want to say formalize, but we'll all do the kind of the same thing in our wiggle. So it's this kind of side up, similar to what we were doing in plank and then some of those cobras, that kind of side to side wave with the spine. Yeah, and then let's take the arms and let the arms go along with the movement. Yep. And in a second, we'll do this in kind of a warrior two position. All right, so let's pause. We'll come to the front of the mat, and we'll add on somewhat from what we did last time. I'm just going to stay here. I'll have my back to you for part of it, but you'll be fine. So here we are, mountain pose, your version of mountain pose. Let's inhale up. Exhale down, forward fold. Inhale is our half lift. On the way down, step the right leg back, lunge, keeping the knee off the floor. Let's lengthen the spine, turn the back heel down, and then from here, do a few of those little waves to come up. Let's take side angle with the arm, ultimately just up towards the ceiling. Yeah? Press down firmly into the back heel and bring yourself up to something like warrior two. And then once you're in position, soften the back knee a little, soften the elbows a little, and then the spine and the left shoulder reach a little forward, and then we reach a little back. Yeah, so it's like we're just riding the waves here in our warrior two. It's not exactly warrior two, but you know what to do. Yeah, great. And then we'll pause. Take both knees a little bent and the arms in close to the body. The upper back can round. And as we inhale, stretch the legs straight. Pull the arms away from the body. Do that big yawn to open. And then we come back in. And let's do it again, but have the arms in a slightly different position. Maybe they're down, maybe they're out to the side. Yeah. Let's do two more of those. Great. And then our last one. Let's transition to traditional warrior two, front knee bends. Arms windmill down to the floor, back heel lifts. We're in the lunge. Let's do that little wave side to side. Well done. And then from here, we'll release that. Step back to plank pose. Choices here, movement, stillness, take a little break, take a little extra. Vinyasa if you want it. Gorgeous. And then when you are ready to move on, which might not be yet, just when you are, we'll head to down dog. From your dog, we'll come to the front of the mat, feet step forward, just a half lift. And then on the way down, step the left leg back. We'll start in our lunge. First, just lengthen long through the torso. Back heel turns down to the floor, and then do a few of these little side twist undulations. Yeah, and then ultimately the chest turns left, the left arm lifts up straight to the ceiling for this version. Press down into the back leg heel, and let's come up to warrior two pose. And then once you get there, soften it a little bit. Bend the back knee slightly, bend the elbows slightly, and we'll do a little wave to the front and to the back. Great. Let this move through the spine as you're going along. Exactly. Good. And then from here, friends, let's bend both knees a little. Curl the arms in. And then we'll open up into that big yawn effect. Both legs straighten out, arms reach apart. And then we come back. Now let's do that a few more times. And maybe each time it's a little different. Arms go to a slightly different place. Yeah. Good. After this next one is complete, let's land a traditional warrior two. Yeah, just find it. Turn your face to look forward, arms windmill down to the floor. Stay in the lunge, and let's add in our little side to side wavies here. Good. And then we'll pause, re-lengthen. Your choice again, movement, stillness, anything you need here. Yeah. And then whenever you feel ready, we'll head into child's pose. We'll transition a little bit. Within the child's pose, if you want to add in a few more little waves, that's an option. Good. And then start to press yourself upright. We'll come into a seated position. You can swing the legs forward. And we'll be taking different versions of Janu Shirshasana, which looks like this. If you need to sit elevated, you can put a blanket under. I'll show this. It's like just a blanket under the pelvis. Yeah. All right. So let's have the right leg or the left knee bent up like so. And you guys will be straight forward. I'm going to go a little to the side just to make some extra room. Yeah. And then if anybody prefers this version too, that's fine. So let's start with the hands either on your prop or on the mat on your fingertips. And press down to lift up. See if you can let that be sort of the undulation through the spine. And then press a little back to hinge forward. Yeah? Do that a few times. Press, kind of lengthen the lip. And then press back to hinge forward. Now, you might stick with that, or some of you, and you'll be, again, more like this. You can take the arms in front of you and do the same idea. So you kind of lengthen and lift, and then you let yourself undulate down. Yeah. So take that a few times. Arms can be in the back or in the front. And truly listen to your body here, to what it says. Some days less is more, some days more is more. Okay. Now if anybody came forward, let's start to come more upright. And then this next one is just the counter pose. So your right foot will go down, left hand to the floor, and you'll be on the left knee and shin. It'll look like this. Yeah, so we open up, and then we come back down. Let's do that a few times, and every time you open, let it be that sort of yawn effect, and it might be a slightly different pathway each time. Great. Yes, and then our last one here. Oh, down we come. Looking good, looking good. Before we swap sides, let's stretch the left leg long and just jiggle out both legs for a second. Babasana. Yeah. You guys are new to me. I make up a lot of yoga poses. Let's do the other side. So the right knee bends, left leg is straight on, and then press down to lift up, and then press back to come forward. Let it be that sort of undulation. And you guys will attempt to have the torso over the left thigh. At any point, if you want to change the arms, let them come forward and take a similar idea here. Now this side might be a very different situation. For me, it's much tighter. You might do less, you might do more. Or maybe you just do different. All right, friends. And if you came forward, let's come more upright. And then right hand to the floor, left foot to the floor. You know what we're going to do. So, yawn it open. Other plant. And then down we come. Let me take that a couple more times. Yeah. All right, friends, when you're done, maybe that's never, but when you're done, yes, stretch the legs out again. Take another little babasana. Okay. So next, let's come down onto your back, and if you need a blanket for the head, that's fine. If not, just come on down. And I'm not going to do this one, but I'll talk you through it. So it's a windshield wiper. So you'll have the knees bent, your feet on the floor. Go ahead and get there, and I'll see more. Let's have the arms overhead, but just kind of loosely overhead. Yeah. And then keeping the feet wide, let the knees drop from, they'll go to the right side and then to the left side, and there'll be a little rotation in the pelvis. One side will come up, and then the other. Yeah. Great. Now, the next time the legs drop over to the right side, stay there. And then find that big yawn, reaching the left knee and the arms away from each other. And then we'll undo and do the other side. So the knees drop left, and then the right knee and the arms reach away from each other. So the knee reaches to the front of the mat, the arms reach to the back. And do that a few more times, one side and then the other. Yeah, keep the feet wide the whole time so they're as wide as the mat. And that'll make the little knee reach a little easier. Yes, yogis. Good work. Good work. And then the next time, or just when you're ready to be done with those, let's come back to center. 2 feet on the floor and take them not as wide, so about hips width distance apart. And slide your hands onto the thighs, close to the hip creases with a flat palm. Let's breathe in, and as you exhale, just press the hands straight ahead into the legs to create a little space. Yeah. And then on the inhales, you'll back off a little bit. And do that a few more times. On the exhale, just gradually press the hands a little more into the legs. And on the inhale, you'll back that off. Good. Sorry I made you get the strap. We're not going to use it. Well, let's do one more thing here. So release the arms. Take the legs long on the floor. And then I'm going to explain this. And if I need to come over there to help you, I will. So the backs of the heels press into the floor, and then you'll do kind of a quick point flex with the ankles. And it's not so much about the feet as it is about letting the whole body take a little jiggle up and down. So kind of like you're bouncing on a trampoline. Yeah. And I'm going to come over there and mess with some of you. Carol, is it okay if I put my hands on your ankles? Yeah. It's way more fun if somebody else does it. Sarah, can I touch you?
Yes. Oh.
I know, I hate to go away. She's having so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Shavasana.
And then when you get tired, just you can do that. Look at my hand. Yes, isn't that so much more fun? Yeah. Can I touch you? Okay. Well, your tattoos are so fun. Yeah. And then, yeah, after a while it gets kind of tiresome, so you can be done when you're done. And, yeah, oh, good. Yeah, if you get a partner at home to jiggle you. Yeah. I wish I could lay down. This would be fun for the baby, I think. Yeah. All right, everybody. It's time for Shavasana. Okay, so if you're quite happy as you are, you'll stay. If you need to shift or adjust or reprop yourself in any way, take the time to do that. Now I'm like tired after all of that jiggling. See if you can allow your body to settle. And even though we've come into Shavasana, we're never completely, fully still. Just notice, maybe it's that little wave happening as you breathe. Maybe you feel some other sort of rhythm in the body. See if you can let the work be done. And relax through your face, your jaw, your eyes, your neck. Relax through the spine and all of the muscles that run along the spine. Imagine the back body widening. We're going to be holding around the abdomen, the thighs, the feet. Bring our attention back to the body. And take a bigger breath. If it would feel good to take the arms overhead, you might do that. And maybe take one of those cat yawns, a little on one side, a little on the other side. And if there's any other movement that would appeal to you here to transition out of Shavasana, take that now. And eventually here you can bend the knees and roll to one side. Bringing upright in a seated position, but there's no rush to get there. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this evening. Namaste.
Namaste.